shot fake. Gaines will have to heave a long 30-footer. Oh! Oh, yeah! Court holds it high to Newman. Long three! Goal! Holy smokes! He hit a 26-footer! The timeline guarded by Holden. Rashad gonna drive. Penetration. He lost the basketball. Ball loose on the floor. Ezra tries to pick it up. He's got to throw it up at the horn. And it goes! It goes! It goes, baby! A three-pointer! A three-pointer! The Dogs have won it at the horn, and it's Bedlam on the press row. 73-70. Dogs do it again. Run for your lives. The students are everywhere.
For itself, like advanced capabilities, intelligent towing, smart technology, and 45 years as America's best-selling truck. That's Ford F-Series. Custom order your 2023 F-150 at your local Ford dealer, a proud supporter of college athletics. Some models, trims, and features may not be available based on 1977 to 2021 CY total sales.
All right, let's go with our keys to the game, driven by Ford F-150. Check out Ford F-150, the official truck of the Bulldogs, at your local Ford dealer. Georgia, South Carolina, and Chuck's got our keys.
And to the strains of Sandstorm, Scott. Here we go. First off, I want you to think the 60s. And I'm not talking about the Beatles or the Flower Generation or the decade that Adam Gillespie was born. I'm talking about the points that we've allowed in our last four losses have been 108, 97, 85, and 77. But our last two wins, we've allowed 68 and 63. So we want 60s for the South Carolina Gamecocks today. We want to keep them in the 60s because we'll get out of here with a win. And then South Carolina's men's team, they haven't won a home game. Their women's team hasn't lost a home game. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, 0-8 against SEC play. South Carolina on its home floor. Our tip-off today is brought to you by Northside Hospital, guided by one clear direction, a mission to heal with expertise in maternity, heart, cancer, orthopedics, and more. You can move into tomorrow with confidence. For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital. Let's pause 10 seconds, station ID, before we tip it on the Bulldog Sports Network. Georgia in red, South Carolina in home white. There's the toss and the tap, controlled by the Gamecocks, and we are underway here in Columbia. As South Carolina will work left to right from our vantage point. Hayden Brown puts up the first shot of the game in the paint, rolls over the rim, and down to Georgia as the Dogs rebound that first South Carolina miss.
Yeah, Jalen Ingram's got that rebound for us.
Roberts, McBride, Oquendo, Ingram, as Chuck mentioned, and Braylon Bridges, our starting five. Dogs' first offensive possession, they try to double Roberts. We sling it into Ingram in the left corner for a three. Too deep from the left side. Off the far side of the rim, rebound down to South Carolina. So both teams come up short on their first possessions. South Carolina with G.G. Jackson, the star freshman player for the Gamecocks. Tries to drive, ball tried to get it out of trouble, and McBride deflected the ball, but South Carolina keeps the possession. Jacoby Wright misses a reverse lay-in, but Hayden Brown did get boxed out. He's able to follow it with a two-handed dunk.
We've seen that before.
Brown had a big game in Athens, had his only double-double of the season. South Carolina comes away after a missed Georgia attempt down on the left end of the floor. Gamecocks with a 2-0 lead on the ball once again. Michi Johnson with the ball, slides right side of the paint. He's double-teamed on the low block. Gamecocks with Wright now drives into a double team. Move the ball rapidly with 10 on the shot clock. Brown straightaway three, airballs it. That wasn't even close.
Well, he's much better
to
dunking.
the left.
He's much better when he's up there like an inch away as opposed to 25 feet.
Much higher percentage shot.
Wow.
Dogs with the basketball again. Roberts walks it over the logo, right to left. Again, Georgia in red. Give and go. Bridges to Roberts. Tipped and stolen by South Carolina. Gamecocks with the ball. Meechie Johnson drives, jump stop on the block. Gets Ingram in the air, shoots it over him, and scores.
Well, that's 2 straight turnovers on possessions where we tried to go into Braylon, and just bad passes, to be honest.
4-0 Gamecocks here. 2 minutes and change into the contest. Roberts gives it to Braylon again. They'll try it. He's just above the left elbow, almost on the three-point line. Now he puts it on the floor, drives with a left-hand dribble into a double team. They get it over to Oquindo for a three. Carrio comes up short from the left wing. Rebound to South Carolina. Josh Gray, the 7-footer, pulls it down. Johnson drives, kicks it into the corner. Here's a three by South Carolina. Jacoby Wright, not the start the Dogs had hoped for, as South Carolina's off to a 7-0 lead. Georgia looking for its first points, almost 3 minutes in. Ingram walks it slowly to the right, hands off to Roberts. Terry dribbles with a left hand, edge of the logo, guarded by Jacoby Wright. Now Oquindo has it. Through traffic.
Wow.
Weave through, lost it in the paint.
Another turnover.
As he ran and had contact with one of the South Carolina players under the basket. South Carolina comes away with it. Jackson's got the dribble right now. He's guarded by Mardrez McBride. It's 7-0 Gamecocks. And South Carolina with the basketball. Jackson drives, tries to float it up over Bridges, who extends the arms, and they force a short shot that sails out of bounds on the right baseline.
Scott, 3 of our last 4 possessions have been turnovers.
Substitutions for Mike White now. Justin Hill into the game. Frank Anselm checks into the ball game. And McBride, Roberts, and Ingram stay on the floor. So Oquindo and Bridges out for the time being with 16.5 minutes showing on the clock here in the opening half. Roberts on the left wing to Ingram, fakes the three, dribbles it inside the arc, hands it off on the wing. Dogs are down 7-0. Roberts, shot fake, drives in the paint, jump pass in the right corner. Ingram with 7, going to put it on the floor. He drives into the paint, pump fake, puts it up with the left hand. It's going to hang on the rim and roll in for it. Woo! Just did fall through. Anselm was there ready to tip it in if it came the other way off the rim, but it fell back through. Thank you, gravity. It's 7-2. Carolina with the ball. Johnson drives, bounces it inside. Bozeman's Verdonk misses a lay-in, misses a follow after he rebounded. Georgia gets his second miss.
They missed 2 point blank there.
Yeah, the 6'9" transfer from Illinois couldn't get it to go. McBride for 3, left side, count it. Mardrez with a Scana Energy 3 for the Dogs, and it's 7-5. First points of the game for Mardrez, who missed the last outing due to an illness, did not play against Florida. Driving layup attempt by Carolina, ricochets off the rim, rebound down to Georgia. The Dogs can tie it here. If they score, Hill will try to do that on a fadeaway 2 on the block. He's fouled by Brown. He got pushed as the shot comes off the rim, no good. He's got free throws coming after the timeout, however. So a 7-0 start for South Carolina, and then 5 straight points for the Dogs. We've got a 7-5 score. Gamecocks in front with 15-14 to go, half number 1.
Join our team. Go Dogs!
Georgia fans, when you need to see a game, head to StubHub. Whether you want to sit courtside or score a bird's eye view, StubHub is the best place to grab 100% verified tickets. And StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Georgia Bulldogs. StubHub, be there.
Scott, after a fairly sloppy start for the Dogs, and I mean, when we weren't not getting shots up because we were turning the ball over, and we've already had 3. We haven't even played 5 minutes yet. Here we got a chance to go to the free throw line and tie the game up. So I guess we ought to count our blessings. We're suddenly back in it, you know, thanks to an Ingram 2. We get a McBride 3, and now we got Justin Hill going to the line to knock down a couple.
Yeah, South Carolina's already taken 10 shots. Georgia just 4 through that first 4.5 minute or so flurry. And as Chuck points out, Hill with a chance to tie it up with a couple of free throws here as the 6-foot guard from Houston, Texas will be on the line. 77% free throw shooter for Justin this season. And he went over 300 career assists in the last game against the Florida Gators. It's 16 points in that game, 4 assists, 6 rebounds in the 10-point loss to Florida. Dogs have dropped 4 in a straight. Trying to end that skid here this afternoon. Hill at the line. Free throw number 1 is all net. Justin with his first point of the day. 7-6, Carolina by 1. And he can tie it with this one, and he does. Hill hits a pair of foul shots, and we're tied at 7.
And here's something we saw with some success against the Gamecocks in Athens, where full court pressure.
Dogs into a half-court zone now after that full-court pressure. Here's Jackson on the wing. South Carolina throws it to Brown at the free throw line. They get it back out on the wing, and it's lost out of bounds by Meechie Johnson for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, he got going so fast, he hit it with his knee.
Looked like an LSU pass.
Yeah, it did. He had nobody over there, just went right out of bounds, but that one went right off his knee and out of bounds. I mean, it fired out of there.
Dogs can take the first lead here. M.A. Moncrief is in the game now. McBride has it, dribbles across the top of the key. They flash out defenders on him. McBride gets a screen from M.A., reverses to Hill. Overhead launch to Roberts on the right side. Shot fake with the shot clock at 5. Feed it into Anselm. Back to Roberts with 2, with 1. Here comes a 3. Good! Wow. Roberts hit a buzzer-beating 3 right at the end of the shot clock. A Scana energy 3 for Terry Roberts. Good and the Dogs with their first lead.
Yeah, good to see Terry getting back to the way he was playing before he suffered that concussion down in Auburn.
Roberts with his 35th three-pointer of the season. South Carolina now trails 10-7. They throw it into Gray, bobbles it on the block. And then he dribbled it out. He's trying to recover as he bobbled it. He was still moving his body, and he stepped on the baseline under the basket.
Well, the pass was a good pass right in his hands, and he just dropped it and then tried to recover quickly. I think what he did was he took his eyes off the pass to look up at the basket.
He couldn't wait to dunk it.
Probably not.
Didn't happen for him, though. South Carolina scored 7 straight to start. Georgia's on a 10-0 run right now. Dogs with the ball. Roberts holds it high to the elbow. Pulls up there. Floats in a 2. Terry now with 5 points in the game. And the Dogs on a 12-0 run. Gamecocks again 0-8 against SEC competition here on their home floor this season. 3-14 overall. Meechie Johnson doubled at the three-point line on the right wing to Jacoby Wright. He dribbles into the paint, turns, fadeaway 2 from 10 feet. Good in front of the basket. That ends a 12-0 run for Georgia. It's 12-9 Dogs. And Roberts with a slow left-hand dribble in the front court. Roberts guarded by Jacoby Wright, 6'2 sophomore guard. To the right wing. Tried to jump pass it into the far corner, and it's intercepted in the passing lane by G.G. Jackson. He'll throw up a 3 from the right side. It circles around the rim a time and a half and then kicks out. No good. Dogs with the rebound. Hill with the drive. Feeds Mardrez in the right corner. Now Hill gets it back on a handoff, and they pin him up against the sideline. He goes up the wing to McBride to get a little breathing room. Anselm with a screen. McBride dribbles behind it. Another deflection on the pass into the wing. Stolen by South Carolina. They run an alley-oop, fast break, and a dunk to the 6'8 freshman Zachary Davis, who slams it home. And it's 12-11. And the folks that are in the building like that here at Colonial Life Arena. It's not an overly large crowd today, but vocal on that play. Roberts to the wing for Georgia. Mardrez holds it 4 feet beyond the three-point line. Now they come with a double team quickly. He curls around, still dribbles, 5 on the clock. Long left-handed 3, front of the rim, no good. Rebound, South Carolina. Big Josh Gray, the 7-footer. Transfer from LSU. 2 hands it. Meechie Johnson mishandles the dribble. Hill picks it up. He's off and running.
Intentional?
Johnson with 2 hands around the waist on a foul right at half court.
Well, they're going to look at it.
obvious foul. That was going to be points more than likely for Hill, who had about a foot and a half.
He got grabbed from behind.
Advantage, on the race to the...
Toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Back here in Columbia, Georgia and South Carolina. With 11:39 to go in the first half, Dogs by a point. And let's go inside the huddle with Chuck Dowdle. It's brought to you by Georgia's own credit union, banking on purpose. And Chuck, a slow start, but then a 12-0 run by Georgia gave them the surge in the lead.
Well, my huddle was with the officials. I got in the huddle with the officials, and they've reviewed that play. It is a flagrant one on South Carolina, so Georgia gets 2 free throws and then the basketball. So that's good news. Now let's knock down the free throws.
It will be Justin Hill on the line again for the Dogs. Meechie Johnson is the player that committed the foul for South Carolina, as Hill had picked up that loose ball on a missed dribble by Johnson. He turned it over, and Hill was off to the races.
He was gone.
Johnson just grabbed him around the waist and kind of pulled him back at half court. So Justin shooting free throws down to our left all by himself. And number one is automatic. Hill now 3 for 3 from the line today. That's all of his points this afternoon. And the second free throw, also good. Hill at 77% for this year and 100% so far today, 4 for 4. Now the Dogs will get the ball, and Juice Holt checks into the game along with Jabri Abdur-Rahim. Holt will bounce it into Hill, and here we go. Dogs now 14-11 with the lead. And the possession, Hill with a left-hand drive, stops at the three-point line. Gives it to Abdur-Rahim briefly, and it goes right back to Hill. Anselm with a screen. Hill dribbles it the opposite way, goes towards half court. Now spins and jumps it into the corner to Ingram. His three is off the mark. Holt fights for the rebound to keep it alive for the Dogs. Back to Hill. His pass to the wing again stolen by South Carolina. Zachary Davis got another tip and a steal. Carolina with a basketball. Gray spins above the left block. Misses a jump hook. Tries to put it back from the right side. Blocked out of bounds by Frank Anselm.
Nice block.
19th of the year for Big Frank, the 6'10 transfer from Syracuse. Gray's having a tough time right around the basket for South Carolina. Can't get anything to drop for him. Gamecocks will throw it in, but the Dogs turning it over way too much, 6 times already in the game. Meechie Johnson from the elbow, jump pass into the corner. Davis with a head fake and a drive. It comes back to Meechie for a three. Off the rim, won't go. Rebound, 1 on 3, and we get it. Big Gray was the only Gamecock in there fighting against red shirts, and Holt came out of the pack with it. Braylon Bridges back in. He's set up on the low block into the paint. His jump hook is blocked by G.G. Jackson. Well, he got enough of the ball and then brought it down out of the air.
He is a skilled player, isn't he, for that size?
Jackson drives against Jabri, and body contact from Abdur-Rahim, and that's a foul on the Georgia junior. And Jackson will check out. That might be a good thing for the Dogs now. The 6'9 freshman from Columbia will go to the bench. And they get Trayvon Minot into the ball game. 6'8 and 260. He's a wide body from Montreal, Quebec. Brown back in too for the Gamecocks. The transfer from the Citadel. Graduate transfer. He's got the ball right now. Puts it on the floor. Dribbles on the right wing. Hands it off to Meechie Johnson. Draws a double on this side. Back up the wing to Brown. They rotate it. Top of the key. Sparkman has it for a second. Shot clock's at 5. Brown trying to get by Jabri. Dribbles it down on the block. Wrap around to Minot. Beat the clock. They put it up and in right as the shot clock was expiring. They're going to take a look at it and see if the ball was out of the hands of Trayvon Minot.
I think it was.
When the clock hit 0 and the buzzer sounded and the lights came on. Our trio of officials today, Tony Green, Will Howard, no relation, Vladimir Voyard-Tadal. And Green and Howard are across the way with the headsets on. and taking a look at that last basket by South Carolina. Georgia fans, if you want to do an NIL deal with a dog, go to georgiadogs.com/NIL to connect with a student athlete on a sponsorship, commercial appearance, autograph session, and more. georgiadogs.com/NIL.
All right, I think they're saying no basket.
They waved off the basket, so it's going to be a shot clock violation for South Carolina. Dogs will have the possession. (14-11). Georgia by 3 with the basketball. Roberts into the front court. Goes to Bridges. Left side of the paint. He slides down. His first attempt on a reverse is blocked. He gets it back. Second attempt is also blocked by South Carolina. They are not letting Braylon Bridges do anything inside here in the first half. Zachary Davis for 3. Too deep from the left slot. Long rebound, however, right back to Eli Sparkman, a walk-on. 6-foot freshman guard that collects the ball out on the wing. Carolina possession. Johnson on the right slot. Gives a fake to Abdul-Rahim. Drives inside and dishes to Minot. And this time he doesn't have to beat the clock. He goes up for a two-handed dunk. Dogs try to answer quickly. Roberts, short bounce pass in the lane to Bridges. Right under the basket. Jump hook good. The first points for Braylon. Finally got it in there and they didn't block it.
Well, you knew sooner or later he was going to confuse them on which way he was going to spin.
16-13, Dogs by 3. Gamecocks with the ball. Beachy thought about a 28-footer straight away, but wisely pulled it down. Now Brown has it, trying to dribble in left of the lane. They go back to Sparkman for a deep 3. That won't go. And the rebound one-handed by Jabri Abdul-Rahim for the Dogs. Georgia pushes it up right to left into the front court. Roberts works against the freshman Sparkman. Turn fade on the baseline.
Terry
Good. He took him to school.
Terry was abusing that young man. He knew he had a mismatch there, and I don't mean in size. I'm talking about just in flat-out skill.
18-13, Dogs. Roberts with 7 points here in the half. Sparkman slings it into the corner to Michi for a 3. That's no good, but there's a foul on the three-point shot on Terry Roberts. That's unfortunate. 3 free throws are coming. Gamecocks are without Chico Carter today, the senior guard transfer from Murray State. He's out for the rest of the season due to a knee procedure he had, and he's been a key player for them. He averages about 10 points a game, and he's a terrific three-point shooter at 47%. And that's one reason why Sparkman is on the floor here in the first half. The Gamecocks. Johnson at the line for South Carolina. Free throw number 1 is up and in. 77% for the Ohio State transfer. Sophomore guard, 6'2", Michi Johnson. Second leading scorer on the team at 12.5 points a game. Misses that second free throw, and he'll get one more crack at it. Oquindo comes in for Georgia, and McBride back in. Holt and Ingram check out.
Dogs now with some three-point shooters on the floor.
4-point lead for Georgia. Johnson, third and final free throw. Good. He hit 2 of the 3. Now he exits. And it's 18-15. Dogs by 3. Jacoby Wright back in for South Carolina. Dogs 5. Roberts, who's dribbling it into the front court. Abdul-Rahim, Bridges, McBride, and Oquindo. Braylon has it just inside the three-point line, left side of the floor. Gives it to Cario, jump pass to McBride. Fakes the 3, drives inside, now backs it out above the arc. Goes to Roberts. He'll hoist the 3, miss it off the right side of the rim. Rebound Hayden Brown for South Carolina. Gamecocks down 3 with the basketball. Work it around the Georgia defense here. They attack the basket now, go inside to the big guy Minot. He spins, loses the ball. Collected and saved by Zachary Davis for Carolina. Throws it up the wing, deflected, almost stolen by Terry Roberts. He got a hand on it, couldn't control it before it went out of bounds. So South Carolina will have the possession still. 10 seconds on the clock after the timeout. 7:23 to go in the first half. Georgia leads by 3, 18-15 over the Gamecocks. Georgia answered with a 12-0 run to go up 5. That's the Dogs' biggest lead, and Georgia's been in front since they went on that 12-0 run. They lead by 3 right now, 18-15. Turnovers, 6 for the Dogs. That's kind of keeping South Carolina hanging around here in this first half.
South Carolina's only got 4 points off those, and we've got 7 points off their 3 turnovers.
Well, Georgia's just giving up possessions, so more than anything else.
We're missing shots and I don't mean missing the shot. We're missing the opportunity to have shots with our turnovers, which is hurting us.
Rebounds pretty even, 11-10 South Carolina there. And, shooting percentages, Georgia at 43%, South Carolina at 32%. So that's where we are at this point with 7:23 to go in the first half. And the Dogs are up 3 on the road here against the Gamecocks. Trying to win that 17th game of the year. Going to Nashville on Wednesday with a little bit of momentum as Georgia will face LSU in the second game of the first session in the SEC tournament. South Carolina will be there on Wednesday night as well. They take on Ole Miss.
They'll play right before us.
And a lot of the other seedings will be determined today on this last day of the regular season in the conference. We do know that Alabama will be the 1 seed and A&M is the 2 seed. They are playing today in the regular season finale. South Carolina kicking the ball around. Georgia almost came up with a steal. Wright collects it, shoots at the end of the horn, and floats it out of bounds. He missed everything else as it goes out of bounds under the basket, and Georgia will have possession. Dogs' half-court defense is pretty solid here in the first half. Roberts up the far sideline, right to left into the front court. Georgia in red today, Gamecocks in white. McBride drives from the three-point line on the baseline. Nothing there, and throws it into the backcourt. Holt trying to chase it down and will collect it not before it almost went out of bounds on the other end of the floor, so South Carolina gets to inbound it in that right corner.
And Scott, exactly what we were talking about, another opportunity. We don't get a shot. We turn the ball over without ever getting an opportunity to shoot the basket.
7th turnover. Georgia came into the game overall second most turnovers per game in the league, 13.2. South Carolina right behind the Dogs by about 1/10 of a point in turnovers. They've also turning it over 13 and change a game. But it's the Dogs who are giving it away more frequently today. G.G. Jackson with a baseline fader. Well, that won't go. Rebound Georgia. And a quick sprint into the front court. Carolina tries to draw a charge. They don't get the whistle. The Dogs knock down a basket with Mardrez McBride on the left side of the floor.
And Carrio penetrated and then pitched it back out. They thought that they were going to get Carrio with the charge, but he had stopped. He planted his foot. He was in good shape.
And that was a 3 by McBride. I thought he was on the line. There's a steal by Georgia. Holt to the rim, and he will lay it up as Jackson will back away and just kind of admire Juice on the lay-in. Dogs with a sudden burst, and it's 23-15 Georgia. Gamecocks basketball. Brown screens for G.G. Jackson, the freshman, sidesteps Oquindo. Long 3, good.
Well, Carrio was right in his grill. Carrio's got to be thinking, well, nothing else I can do. I was right on him, and he was. Just a great shot by a great player.
Lead back to 5 now for the Dogs, 23-18. Georgia basketball. Roberts trying to break free of the defenders. He slings it with one hand over to McBride and comes right back to Terry. Roberts now dribbles through the legs, pulls up for a 3, shoots over right, misses it off the rim. 2 Gamecocks there to rebound it, Gray and Jackson. And it's Josh Gray that comes away with it, their leading rebounder this season. Clock at 5:08, 5:07 here in the half. Another turnover. Jackson gives it away. McBride has it to the rack. Tries to sling it down with a left-handed tomahawk, and they whistle South Carolina on the foul.
Yeah, Gigi was not in position to block that, and you got to be smart. Now look, he's a freshman, true freshman. He'll learn. When you're not in position, what you need to do is just, let that go.
McBride was really bringing that back to try to slam it home, and the foul looked like the same play that McBride was making. G.G. Jackson's foul looked as hard as McBride's dunk throwdown attempt. He whacked him pretty good. So Mardrez at the free throw line, the 6'2", fifth-year transfer from just down the road in Augusta, Georgia. The free throw is good, and Mardrez already with 7 points here in the first half. McBride, a transfer from junior college and then to North Texas. And his path brings him to Athens. He's averaging almost 5 points a game this season. Left-handed shooter, got both foul shots to drop in there, and that's a good sign as well because he's kind of struggled at the stripe this year at 54%. He checks out of the ball game, gets a glad hand all the way down the bench for the Dogs. Georgia's 5, Roberts, Oquendo, Hill joins the guard trio. Holt and Anselm rounding out our 5 on the floor. Georgia with a 25-18 lead over South Carolina. Gamecocks basketball. Brown scoops it back to right, beyond the arc, dribbles it inside. Deflection by Holt, picked up off the floor by Anselm. Outlet to Roberts at half court. Terry 1-on-2, has the ball stripped, knocked away, tries to chase it down. It's tipped out last by South Carolina. Roberts almost got out of control a little bit there, Chuck.
Yeah, almost another turnover. Very close to another turnover.
Hill will inbound for the Dogs as Georgia able to maintain possession as Wright touched it last for the Gamecocks. Roberts picked up his dribble. He's double-teamed. Over to Oquendo. Long three. Back of the rim won't go. Holt with an offensive rebound for the Dogs. Gives it back to Terry. Roberts dribbles on the right wing. Again, they chase him with a double-team. Skip pass to Anselm on the baseline. Get it out of trouble there. Oquendo's got it. Left slot. Puts it on the floor. Drives against Jackson. Ball goes straight up and down. Oh, my goodness. Oquendo crashes down on the floor. Hits his head. They call a time. He's back up. Carolina had picked up the ball. He hit his head pretty hard, but he's bounced right back up.
But that official did the right thing. He stopped play because of the fact that he did hit his head. You know, so it's the official's discretion to let play continue or to stop it. And he decided to stop it, and that was, I think, the right call when a guy hits his head that hard. Because even you reacted, you know, you thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, it looked, from this end, it looked pretty nasty down there, but, you know, it could have been the shoulders.
Are they going to make Carrier come out? Let's see if they're going to make him come out.
They're mopping up some moisture on this end of the floor, but Carrier walks over to the Georgia bench and has a quick word with the assistant coaches. But, yeah, when he came down flat on his back, and it looked like his head snapped back on the floor when he crashed. But he got up after a brief second on the floor. Got up quickly to join the rest of his team down on this end of the floor. South Carolina with a basketball. Georgia's defense chasing them all over. We leave a guy open for a three. Misses from the left wing. Brown with an offensive rebound. The putback rolls over the iron, and we foul. Jacoby Wright was wide open on the left side. Georgia's defense was aggressively chasing the basketball. Carolina misses a point-blank lay-in.
Yep.
Gets the foul on the whistle.
And we didn't do a good job blocking out on the glass either. We had an opportunity to grab that rebound, just didn't do it.
Got a timeout with 3:48 to go. Dogs playing hard, leading 25-18 over the Gamecocks. Back to Columbia in a moment on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Now more than ever, it's important to support our local businesses, whether it's your favorite pizza place or your neighborhood barber. That's why I'm a proud member of Georgia's Own Credit Union. Georgia's Own has been serving our local community for more than 85 years. Whether they are saving you money on a checking account or credit card, or supporting the people, places, and teams that we've grown to love, Georgia's Own can't be beat. To learn more, visit their website at georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm one of Georgia's Own.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Okay, 42% for the game, 8 of 19. They're perfect from the foul line. That's a good number. 6 of 6 on the free throws by the Dogs. Justin Hill, 4 for 4. McBride, 2 for 2. And Mardrez McBride, one of the best stat lines here early on. 2 for 3, both on three-point shots. Perfect from the line, leading the team in scoring with 8 points here in the first half.
Well, turnovers have been amazing. Both these teams. We got 14 turnovers in this game between these two sides.
Each team with 7, and you've got the number 2 and 3 teams in the league that turn it over the most frequently. Georgia's 2, and South Carolina right behind is Hayden Brown. Sinks the free throw here. Foul just before the timeout. Brown, 6'5" graduate transfer from Greer, South Carolina. And he hits a pair. Second leading scorer on the team, averaging 11.5 a game. Also rebounds at 5 a clip. Had his only double-double against the Dogs in that overtime loss for Carolina back in Athens. Had 17 points, 10 rebounds in that loss. Dogs with the ball and a 25-20 lead after the free throws by Brown. 8 seconds on the clock for Georgia's offense. Oquindo, long three, right slot, won't go, off the rim, rebound. Benjamin Bozeman's-Verdonk, the 6'9" graduate transfer from Illinois.
Boy, our last game and so far in this one, Cario has really struggled out behind the arc.
Yeah, the three ball hasn't been his shot this season, only 27%. And today he's 0 for 3. In fact, he's 0 for 4 from the field altogether. Carolina backdoors it to Brown. Pump fake. Dogs strip him on the way down, but I think we got contact and a foul.
No,
or did it just go out of bounds?
Out of bounds. It's their ball.
Holt strips it out. When he bought the pump fake, went up in the air, came down. There was some contact with Brown, but got more ball, according to the official. And they let play continue. Only 4 seconds for the Gamecocks on the shot clock. They throw it into Brown underneath the basket. Wow. He was facing the opposite end and got a reverse lay-in. We had our hands on him, too, and he wanted a foul but didn't get it.
That was Mardrez's fault.
Anselm on the other end. Spinning jump hook is an air ball from 4 feet away. 25-22. It's a 3-point game. Dogs gave up an easy basket late in the clock on that last possession. Never should have happened. Wright doubled out on the 3-point line. Carolina reverses to the left side of the floor with 8 to shoot. And now Meechie Johnson going to drive. Dogs whistle for a foul on the drive.
They got Mardrez. But on that previous play on the inbounds pass, Mardrez allowed them to get position right under between. He let the player get between him and the basket. And took the pass straight inbounds and just laid it up.
Carolina to throw it in. Jacoby Wright looks under the basket, nothing there. Zachary Davis was trying to break inside. Jackson has it, dribbles at the elbow, fadeaway 2, air ball. Caught on the other side, on the weak side by Josh Gray. He tries to force it back up and in, and we foul the big man. That foul on Anselm. That's 2 on Frank. And Gray's going to be at the free throw line for South Carolina. A 3-point game with 2:09 to go in the half. Gamecocks had an early 7-0 lead. Georgia answered with 12 straight points. Dogs' big lead in the half has been 8, and we've been in front since that 12-0 run. Gray, 7 feet, 255, transfer from LSU. Right-handed shooter, free throw, too much muscle on it, hits the back of the rim. He's yet to score this afternoon and shoots just 47% from the foul line. Dogs will substitute. Jabri Abdur-Rahim comes in for Jusan Juice Holt. Dogs with Hill, McBride, Oquindo, Bridges, and now Abdur-Rahim. Gray's second and final free throw is all net. Good. His first point of the afternoon. Makes it a 2-point game, 25-23. Georgia by a deuce. Dogs with the ball. Carolina in a half-court zone. McBride for 3, off the mark. High rebound, collected by South Carolina. Meechie Johnson caught it off the tip under the basket for the Gamecocks. Gray has it down the lane. Just puts a shoulder into Anselm and knocks him into Wednesday. That's an offensive foul.
That was Braylon. It took the brunt of that one.
Bridges, not Anselm. Excuse me.
Braylon got. He got. That's Braylon was like, if I wanted to get hit like that, I'd have gone and played for Kirby.
He took a pretty good shot.
He did.
Biggest guy on the floor. Dogs ball leading by 2, 25-23. The zone giving Georgia some problems now. We've hit a bit of a scoring drought. Hill tries to drive, stumbles, slides on his knees, keeps the dribble alive. They have burned his knee a little bit. He's hobbling. Georgia throws it away. Gives it up on the other end. They feed Jackson for the flying dunk. He misses it. He got rimmed by the basket on the right end. Georgia takes it away. Oquendo will score with a spinning drive on the left end of the floor. Carrio gets his first basket of the game to extend the Georgia lead 27-23.
How did he miss that dunk? That was
he hit that orange thing around the net.
Around the net.
Johnson to the rim. The seas part for him in a layup. Michi Johnson.
Yeah. Mardrez just left him. Got left in the dust.
27-25. Dogs by 2. Georgia with the ball. Less than a minute to go in the half. 40 seconds, as a matter of fact. Mardrez guarded by the 6'8 Zachary Davis out near the half-court line. Pushes it over to Oquendo. We feed Bridges. Jump hook, right hand. Too much on it. Gets his own miss. Spins. Pump fake. Gray blocks his next shot. Ball bounces over to Michi Johnson. Braylon's having a tough time against their bigs inside. Bridges 1 for 6 today. Dogs by 2. Carolina can hold for the last shot. 9 seconds to go. G.G. Jackson has it above the 3. They go to Davis in the corner. He's pinned. Gray has it in the circle. 2 seconds. 1 second. And the ball out of bounds at the end of the half. South Carolina never got a shot up. They threw it to Gray on the right baseline. He was running away from the basket trying to chase down that ball, and it just deflects off his hands and out of bounds, and that's the way the half will end. Georgia leads by 2. That's the good news.
Yeah, well,
27-25.
And about the best we could say about this first half is right now, if we score every time they score, we win. But we have got to be, and I want to see us handle it right and be more protective of possessions.
Dogs will have the ball to start the second half. McBride, Oquendo, Roberts, Ingram, and Bridges are 5 to start the second half. Here we go. Georgia with a 2-point lead. See if they can build on it here on this first possession. Roberts straight ahead. Dribbles it with the left hand. Drives to the basket. Floater with the kiss off the front of the rim. 8th rebound of the game for Josh Gray and the Gamecocks. That's their 21st rebound of the game. Gray with 8, a lot more than anybody else on the floor. Carolina could tie it here or take the lead with a 3. Michi Johnson drives. He backed up and then got a head start. Just drove right to the rim and laid it up good.
My goodness, he left Braylon.
He did. 27 apiece. Georgia and South Carolina. Oquendo's in the left corner, guarded by Johnson. He defends the baseline. Pass goes up the wing to Ingram to Roberts. Terry reverses to Jalen. Thought about the 3. Still wants to shoot it. Going to send it inside to Braylon Bridges. He used a pump fake finally and got Gray in the air and then scored when the big man came down. Braylon got 4 of his shots blocked in the first half, most of them by Gray. And that time he used the pump fake.
Those pump fakes work.
They do. That's why the coaches say, hey, you should try the pump fake. Dogs by 2 again, 29-27. Jab step for Jacoby Wright. The Gamecocks misses the 3. Another rebound for Gray. His putback is too hard. Another offensive rebound on the miss by Brown. He saves it over the inline. Kick out for a 3. Brown, that's no good. Rebound caroms off the rim and into the corner and out of bounds right next to the South Carolina bench. Gamecocks can't get it to fall on that.
I got to tell you something. The way we're rebounding right now, our best chance is to hit a hard shot for them off the rim that goes out of bounds.
Or not rebounding. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Well, no, the way we're or not rebounding.
You could take it either way.
Either way, but
we're down 6 on the glass. They've out-rebounded us 22-16 thus far. Georgia with a lead, though, ever so slight. Ingram dribbles it into traffic. Brown picks him up down low to Anselm. Back out front to Oquendo. 3 seconds in the lane is called on Frank Anselm as Oquendo was driving. 3-second violation on the Dogs. There's another turnover, our 9th of the game.
And again, another possession without a shot.
Yep. Those empty ones kill you. Less than 18 minutes remaining. Gray with the ball at the elbow. Pivots to face up against Anselm. Won't shoot it. Passes it to a guard. Michi Johnson above the 3. Over to Brown. Now it goes inside to Big Gray. He's posted up against Anselm. He'll shoot it from short range. It rolls over the rim, but there's a whistle and a foul on the Dogs. Anselm picks up his 3rd. First of the half. And Gray is going to the foul line for South Carolina. Josh Gray from Brooklyn, New York, played at LSU his freshman season, then transferred out during the Will Wade administration, as everybody did after last season.
I was going to say that was
their whole team just emptied out.
That was a rough administration.
Gray, free throw number 1. And the Carolina big man,
if I remember correctly,
rims it off the front side of the iron.
If I remember correctly, Will was there, then he wasn't, then he was, then he wasn't.
That pretty much sums it up. Yeah. And now they've moved on. That will be Georgia's opponent on Wednesday night in the SEC tournament under a new administration. And Matt McMahon.
Oh, my goodness.
Lane violations in abundance before Gray.
Everybody was.
Gray's,
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Very methodical at the line.
There are sometimes you shouldn't pump fake, and one of them is at the free throw line.
Good point. Everybody just fell into the lane.
Well, he kind of went like he was going to shoot it, and then he stopped.
South Carolina called for the violation. Gray never got to pull the trigger on that second free throw. Dogs ball. M.A. Moncrief was wide open underneath. Gray closed quickly defensively as Moncrief misses the lay-in with the big man breathing down his neck, and then he got fouled. He's got 2 shots coming. M.A. only played 3.5 minutes in the first half. He should be fresh. Let's see if he can hit the free throws.
Still trying to get over pump faking at the free throw line. My goodness.
Moncrief rattles it home. Good. Georgia remains perfect at the line. 7 for 7. First point of the game for Moncrief. I'm just stating facts. Second free throw's in the air, and it's good. Are you going to say anything about that?
No. Congratulations. That's what I'm going to say.
8 for 8 at the line. Dogs 31, South Carolina 27. 4-point lead. Well, not anymore. There's a long jump shot by the Gamecocks to draw within 2. Dogs try to answer quickly with Roberts. Right down the lane, a little Euro step, dragging the leg, and all the way to the backboard and layup good. 9 points for Terry Roberts, the Bradley transfer. 33-29 Dogs.
Dribbled it out of bounds.
Carolina turns it over on the left end of the floor.
And you may get away with that, but you don't do it right in front of Tony Green. I think he may have actually bounced it off of Tony's toe. Tony's standing out of bounds.
Well, he notices that. Roberts penetrate, kick out. Jabri misses the 3 from the left corner. Rebound, South Carolina. Benjamin Bozeman's Verdonk, 6'9", collects the rebound. 33-29, Dogs by 4. Gamecocks with the basketball. Keeping the ball right now outside the 3-point line.
Oh, my goodness.
Jab step Jackson. Oquindo fell down, left Gigi wide open for a 3. Missed it badly. They get an offensive rebound, however, and go to work again. Gamecocks with Wright. He's going to take it to the rack, and a sweeping left-handed layup is good. Jacoby Wright with his first points of the second half, and it's a 2-point game again. 33-31, Dogs lead. McBride has it. High on the right wing. Dribbles it around the big man. They go to Roberts on the left side. Comes back to the right side for Oquindo. Misses another 3. That was a line drive by Carrio. He's 0 for 4 on threes in the game. Was 0 for 7 against Florida. He's 0 for his last 11 on threes. We got a timeout with 15:57 remaining in the game. Georgia by 2. 33-31 over the Gamecocks. Back to South Carolina after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Sirius XM SEC Radio for news, talk, analysis throughout the college basketball season. Try it out today and take your Georgia Bulldogs with you on your phone, online, and at home. No car required.
Scott, they've opened up a 9-rebound lead on the glass. That's not Georgia basketball. We need to be rebounding better. We need to be blocking out better, and we need to be getting to the ball on the glass.
Gray's doing most of their work there, Chuck. He's got 9 already.
Well, I wish we had somebody that was 9.
Yeah, we can't. Our leading rebounder has 3. And that's Juice Holt, who's not on the floor all the time. By the way, Texas A&M defeats Alabama 67-61 today in College Station on the last day of the regular season. They'll be the 1 and 2 seeds in Nashville next week.
But that had absolutely no bearing on the seeding, or it's kind of like this game won't have any bearing at all on the seeding. We're locked into where we are.
I think that could help A&M more in the bigger picture for the next tournament. With a win over an Alabama team. 33-31. South Carolina gets the ball inbounds against some Georgia backcourt pressure. Now Michi Johnson in the front court to Wright. Dogs have Hill and Roberts. Holt, Abdur-Rahim, and Moncrief on the floor. Jackson works against Moncrief, drives on M.A. on the left baseline. A foul on Moncrief is the call as G.G. Jackson got all the way under the basket. They've called it on Holt, though. I thought it was on Moncrief, but they called it on Juice. And that's going to put Jackson on the line. He struggled with his shot today, just 2 for 8, 5 points. He's their leading scorer this season and one of the top scorers in the conference, 15 a game. And that free throw will spin around the rim, hang on the right edge, and then fall through for it. And he points to the sky, thanking the heavens after that one. Jackson from Columbia, South Carolina. 6'9", freshman forward. Free throw is good. He made them both. And we're tied at 33 now. Georgia basketball. Crowd trying to come alive. They called the attendance 10,211 today. That's about half house. This place seats close to 20. Roberts going to drive, whips it into the corner, caught by Hill, fakes the 3, goes in for the 2, and they call him for a charge as Bozeman's Verdonk was set up on the left block, and Hill went right into it.
Well, I have no idea why Justin did that. He had the wide open shot.
Benjamin Bozeman's Verdonk at 6'9" and 250. Boy, he had his feet just cemented into the ground. He didn't move at all, and Hill clearly with the offensive foul. Now South Carolina throws it away, but not before a foul is called on the Dogs. On the offensive end, that's on Jabri Abdur-Rahim. That's his first. Not a shooting situation. South Carolina was a fraction of a second from turning it over if we had not fouled. Less than 15 minutes remain here in Columbia today. We're tied at 33. Gamecock basketball. Michi Johnson dribbles right on the wing, reverses, goes up in front of the bench and sends it to Jacoby Wright. They feed Hayden Brown. Fall away 3 from the left side with Jabri closing on him defensively. Missed it off the rim. Rebound to the Dogs. Georgia possession. Holt dribbles far side of the floor. Bozeman's Verdonk forces him all the way to the half-court line. He dribbles it into the backcourt. That's called over and back on the Dogs. My goodness.
Another empty possession.
And the 6'9", 250-pound forward from Belgium just forced Juice all the way back to the half-court line, and the ball went in the rear court. Gamecocks basketball, chance to take the lead. They haven't been in front in a while. In fact, their last lead was at 7-6, 15-14 to go in the first half. Brown along the baseline, now in the corner. Michi Johnson's 3 ball is no good. Offensive rebound. South Carolina, jump hook by the big guy. Bozeman's Verdonk won't go. Get another offensive board. They send it out to Michi, and he's going to drive on Jabri and take it to the rack and lay it in.
And Jabri got no help. Once he got by Jabri, nobody stepped into the paint to help.
And South Carolina's taken the lead since early in the half, but Roberts answers, quiets the crowd with a Scana Energy 3 on the right wing. Terry floats it up and in. He's got a dozen points. Well, they only led for a handful of seconds, and the Dogs back in front 36-35. Now, check the whistle and a foul. We got a hold on the Dogs.
They called Jabri again.
Tony Green indicating had a little bit of jersey, I guess, holding the South Carolina player. Now Abdur-Rahim comes out, Oquendo back in. Dogs by 1. 36-35 with 13:33 remaining. Frank Anselm's going to check in for the Dogs as well. M.A. Moncrief out. Carolina inbounds, sideline, front court. Wright has the dribble. Sends it to the right wing to Jackson. Holt guards, goes with him, puts a hand low on his stomach. Now they send it to Brown down on the baseline. Jump pass to the near side to Davis. 6 on the clock for Carolina. The ball's out near half court. Jackson's going to drive. He slides. He falls. Shot clock hits 0, and the buzzer sounds, and that's a violation on the Gamecocks.
He slipped. Looked like he slipped.
He definitely did. Yeah, he slipped, lost his footing, and went to the floor, and then the ball almost got away.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it was they're out there wiping, so. His shoes just went out from under him there.
It'll be Georgia basketball when time comes back in. He may have had a little bit of a cut or a scrape on his elbow, too. Their trainer for South Carolina is wrapping up Jackson's right elbow. As Tony Green cradles the basketball and won't let us play. So some housekeeping duties here in Columbia. Cleaning up the floor, cleaning up one of the players' elbows. Now, yeah, there might be some blood on the floor as well. Now they're having to come out and clean that up. He's got some blood on his uniform. The South Carolina staff members putting some sort of spray on it.
Spray and wash?
Is that like stain remover? That's going to come out when we put that jersey in the wash. Georgia leads by a point. Dogs have the ball. Juice bounces it into Roberts. And Terry hops his way into the front court, left to right. Dogs in red today on the road, looking for their second road win of the season. That would be an accomplishment. Roberts reverses to Hill. Wide open straightaway 3. Missed it off the left side. And the ball's going to bounce into the courtside seats down to our right, out of bounds. It'll be Carolina basketball. Dogs 4 of 16 on the 3 today. That's below our season average of 32%, which is 11th in the league. Not as good as that in league play. It's 30.5% against SEC competition. There's a foul on the drive.
Anselm.
Foul called against the Dogs. Anselm picks up his 4th. And he'll quickly come out of the ball game as Braylon Bridges is up at the scorer's table and ready to check in. Jacoby Wright will go to the foul line for the Gamecocks. Wright, 6'2" guard from Fort Mill, South Carolina, 75% foul shooter, and he clanks it off the front of the rim. Anselm out, Roberts out, McBride and Bridges in for the Dogs. Juice is trotting back to the other end of the floor. He's got something going on with his left hand, it looks like. Now play has been stopped. Does he have a cut on his hand?
They're putting on gloves over there.
Yeah,
so
Lance Schumann, the Georgia trainer, is
probably
going to doctor him up now.
It's on his knee. Probably a little floor burn when he jumped down there on the floor a while ago to try to get that loose ball.
Well, the game has just come to a dead halt here while we tape and wrap and mop. You got any dusting you need to do? We're cleaning uniforms.
Let's do it now.
Got some housework, a little spring cleaning, I guess, going on here in early March. Now we're back at it. Wright's at the foul line for South Carolina. Can tie it if he can hit this one. He missed his first. Second one's in the air, and that one's good. So we're tied again at 36 now. It's our 4th tie of the day. We've had 3 lead changes in the game. Georgia's been in front for the majority of the game, but not by a wide margin.
Wow.
And we just threw it in the backcourt.
Wow.
McBride with a diagonal pass to Hill, threw it 2 feet over the half-court line, and that's another backcourt violation. Another Georgia turnover. That's 12 for the Dogs.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, we're tied despite ourselves. South Carolina ball. Brown Has it on the left wing. Dribbles, pivots, gives it back to Jacoby Wright with 5 on the shot clock. Step back 3, 3-second violation on big Josh Gray in South Carolina. He'd set up camp in the paint on the left end of the floor. There's another South Carolina turnover. Now they're even at a dozen apiece. Who wants to win this game? Hill with the ball for the Dogs inside the arc. Sends it into Bridges on a bounce. And he's fouled. He had a man
going up
front of him and behind him. Brown and Gray, who they call it on? They call it on Hayden Brown.
Yeah, they're going to give him 2 shots. He was going up.
Brown's second foul. He's prone to.
Here in the second half, 1 for 7. However, there's good news.
However, here's the silver lining.
The silver lining is they're shooting 0%.
Oh, I like ours better.
They are 0 for 6.
And we just got our first second chance points of the game on that Braylon Bridges
and
putback.
we had to work for it. We had to work like crazy to get those 2 second chance points.
So second chance points now. South Carolina 13, Georgia 2. But we are tied at 43 with 7:20 to go here in Columbia.
And Gigi Jackson headed the line.
Going to be at the line, yep. Jackson at 6'9", the freshman at 68% this season. He was perfect against Mississippi State in their loss on Tuesday in Starkville. They lost 74-68. He was 11 of 11 from the free throw line.
Well, keep mentioning that.
And he misses that one on the front end.
There you go.
Of a 2-shot foul.
Tell me again, how was he against Mississippi State?
That's his first miss today. So he'd made the last 13 foul shots before that miss. And the next one going to draw the front iron as well. Rebound to Braylon Bridges.
Well, he was due.
Jackson missed them both. And we remain tied at 43. Dogs can take the lead here with 7:10 to go. Roberts on the drive. Wright bumping him and called for the foul at the left elbow. Jacoby Wright, his first. That's the 6th team foul. The Dogs 1 away from being in the bonus. Georgia will inbound, front court near sideline with Justin Hill, 7:10 remaining. Hill to Roberts. Terry will go into a slow walk and a dribble. Give it back to Hill. Jump pass across the way. Back to Terry. Roberts gets his body inside the three-point line where he's double-teamed there. Hill and Roberts play catch. Shot clock running down. Terry forces up a 3. He had little time left on the clock, but caught the rim on a forced shot.
Yeah, it's getting tight. 4 seconds.
43 apiece. Johnson with a floater on the left end for South Carolina. Won't go. Rebound touched out by Gray under the basket, says the official. Going to be Georgia basketball. Gray almost had his 13th rebound of the game. But out of bounds instead. Georgia ball and a chance to break a tie with 6:40 to go. No less than that. Hill dribbles across the foul line. Threw it into the corner and out of bounds. Ingram was about 4 or 5 feet up the wing and not where the ball went sailing out of bounds. Dogs turn it over for the 13th time of the game. Still tied, 43 apiece. Approaching 6 minutes to go in the game. Gamecocks have the ball. Johnson on the logo near half court. Guarded by Roberts. They screen with Brown. Give him the ball. Now Brown on the left wing. Hands it off to Davis. They go to the elbow. Gray. 7 on the shot clock. Gray looking away from the basket. Feeds it back to Meechie Johnson. He goes by Bridges. Try to reverse lay-in. Lost the ball. Turns and shoots at the end of the shot clock. And it's a violation. Didn't get the ball out of his hands in time. And a South Carolina turnover.
Wow. I got to tell you. I don't know what these people paid to get in here today, but I think they got overcharged. This
one won't be in the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Mass.
This one will not.
Video of this one. 43 all. It's a turnover battle. South Carolina winning that 14-13 right now, but we're tied on the scoreboard at 43. Roberts fakes the 3, moves to his left. Here's a straightaway 3. Missed it off the left side of the rim. Rebound collected by Gray, and there's his 13th board of the game. South Carolina plus 14 on the glass over the Dogs today. Tie score with 5:15 to play. Johnson to Brown along the baseline, forces up a little short bank shot. It hangs on the rim and falls through, and South Carolina has the lead. Brown's got a dozen. 45-43, Gamecocks by 2. Hill with the dribble and the drive, curls around by Gray. Oh, my goodness. Threw it up behind his head under the basket, banked it in.
Okay, that was worth the price of admission.
Wow, what a shot by Justin Hill.
Wow. Terrific shot.
Tied it at 45. Gamecocks on the offensive end. Hayden Brown with a fake on the 3 and the dribble drive, missed the running layup, and the ball out of bounds on the rebound.
It's all
Who's
Frank,
gonna have
I
it?
think.
We touched it up?
Yeah, Frank Anselm had it momentarily but lost it out of bounds.
Anselm on the floor for a little bit with 4 fouls, now comes out. Bridges back in. We've got Ingram, Holt, Bridges, McBride, and Roberts as South Carolina sets to inbound. 4:38 to go. We're tied at 45. Gamecocks. Johnson feeds it into Bozeman's Verdonk, and South Carolina goes to work. Jacoby Wright hops into his dribble with the left hand, drives against McBride. They're going to get Mardrez for a foul right under the backboard. That's his third. 2 shots coming for Jacoby Wright's 9th team foul on the Dogs in the half. Wright with 7 points today. Make it 8 points, excuse me. And he's 1 for 2 from the line. Hey, you missed that foul shot. South Carolina's gone cold at the free throw line here in the second half.
Thank goodness.
4 out of 9 at the stripe here in the second half. Wright, second free throw. That one's good, right through the heart. Missed one, made one. He's got 9 points. And the Gamecocks have a 1-point lead, 46-45, with 4:20 to play here in Columbia. Dogs on the right end of the floor in front court. Ingram and Roberts play catch. Hard pass to the elbow to Braylon Bridges. Right corner 3, Mardrez won't go. Offensive rebound, Bridges. The drive is good by Bridges, and the foul on South Carolina, and they'll count the basket. Bridges with a strong second half here, Chuck. He's got 9 in the half, 11 in the game, and going to the line now to give the Dogs a 2-point lead if he knocks it down.
All right, Braylon.
Bridges now 5 for 10 in the contest. Free throws up and in. He's got a dozen points. Braylon Bridges trying to send the Dogs to a winning finish here. 2-point lead for Georgia, 48-46 with 4 minutes to go. Carolina basketball with Davis feeding Johnson. Johnson dribbles with the left hand. Left of the lane. They go down low to Jackson. Turn fade 2. Good.
Well, that was a pretty. That's why that young man is so highly regarded by the next level.
Not a whole lot of defense you can provide on that kind of shot. Tied again, 48. Ingram to break the tie. Air balls once from 13 feet. It may have been tipped. Goes out of bounds. It's going to be South Carolina basketball. That was dreadfully short. Looked like it was tipped. But the Gamecocks are going to have the possession after the timeout. 3:31 remaining here at Colonial Life Arena. Georgia 48, South Carolina 48. The finish is on the way next here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. And a handful of ties in this half, and neither team able to pull away. In fact, we're tied right now at 48 with 3:31 to go as we check the individual numbers. Roberts leading Georgia with 14 points. Braylon Bridges has scored a dozen, and 10 of those have come here in the second half. He's got 4 rebounds in the game. The leading scorer for South Carolina is Hayden Brown on senior day for him. He's got 13 and 5. Josh Gray with 13 rebounds for South Carolina as the Gamecocks have controlled the backboards. Plus 15 for them right now, but a lot of turnovers in this one. Both teams with a high number there. We've had 13. They've had 14 points off turnovers. Georgia has 16 points off their mistakes. South Carolina only 6. They have the edge in second chance points, 14-5, thanks to their 16 offensive rebounds.
That's amazing.
Carolina going to have the ball. Jackson to inbound. Georgia will come with full court pressure with 3:31 to go. Now we try to trap Michi Johnson after the throw it in. Jackson has it back now up the far side. The freshman goes against Juice Holt into the front court. Now he picks up his dribble. Skips it over to Brown with 3:18 on the clock in a 48-48 game. Wright with the basketball. We're chasing it all over the place. Down the lane he goes, right in the heart of our defense, to the rim, puts it up and in good. Carolina by 2, 50-48. 3 minutes to go, now less than that. Dogs with the basketball. Roberts to Ingram at the foul line on a bounce. Down the lane, floats it up from 4 feet, misses it deep off the back of the rim. Rebound South Carolina. Now they lead by 2, and they've got the ball, and we've got 2:43 to go.
We just missed a 3-foot shot.
Both teams shooting under 40% for the game. Carolina with a 2-point lead. Jackson has it knocked away. Mardrez with the basketball. He almost traveled. Short pass to Roberts underneath the basket's what it ended up being. They kick it out to Holt for a 3.
Oh, my goodness.
Juice buries a 3. Scana Energy 3, left wing. Good to give the Dogs a 1-point lead.
Boy, that was one of those yes.
Holt just 2 for 17 on threes the last 10 games. That's his first attempt today, and he makes it. 51-50, Georgia by a point in a crazy game as South Carolina drives inside, and they call the Dogs for a blocking foul.
That's our 10th.
And that's going to put the line, Michi Johnson on the line for the Gamecocks, and 2 free throws coming. Johnson at 77% for the year. 2 for 3 this afternoon. They're 5 of 10 from the line in the second half. Right-handed shooter, free throw number 1, off the rim, no good. More help for the Bulldogs. Got one more free throw to come to try to tie it.
All charity, gratefully accepted.
Less than 2 minutes remaining. Johnson ties it with a second free throw. 51 apiece. Dogs with the ball, 1:58, clock moving. Roberts into the front court. I think we're going to call a time, and we will. Terry angled towards our bench. As soon as he crossed the half-court line, we call the timeout with 1:53 remaining. 51-51. What's your money play at this point, Chuck?
Well, I tell you, that's a great question. Let's see who he puts on the floor coming out of this. We got 1:53. Juice Holt, your best defender, just knocked down a long 3. I don't think you want Juice as that's not going to get you where you want to go, taking threes. But
I think here in the second half, the play has been to Bridges.
And I was going to say, that's been our bread and butter all year. You know, that's where we're best, is down low with Braylon. I think that's what I'd try to do.
Something for Terry or something for Braylon. One of those two guys. They've been the hottest this afternoon. Roberts with 14 points, 6 of 12. And Bridges with 10 of his 12 points here in this half. And he's 5 of 10. You know, Gray has been a problem for Georgia around the basket all day long. He's blocked a lot of shots, and he's rebounded it 13 times for South Carolina. With 1:53 to go, the Dogs coaches had huddled up. The Georgia players were seated and huddled, and now Mike White is going to work with instructions for his guys.
But the horn is blown, so they're going to have to get back out here. Here come the referees blowing the whistles, telling them, let's go.
Both teams still huddled up on their benches. Lamont Paris in the huddle with his team for South Carolina. The Gamecocks 10-20 in his first season here.
We got 2 referees telling the Dogs to go. We got 1 referee over telling the Gamecocks, let's go. Let's get out of this huddle. Let's play.
You know this has got to be a different sensation for Lamont Paris, who was at Chattanooga last year, and for the previous 5 years. They went 27-8 last season, and now just about diametrically opposite this year with 10-20 record for the Gamecocks.
That's the worst overall record in the conference.
Dogs with the ball as we inbound. Minute 52, clock begins to tick. We're tied at 51. Robertson, Holt, Hill, Braylon Bridges, and Ingram on the floor. Terry with the drive. We clear out. Running layup won't go. Tipped out of bounds. South Carolina. Going to be Georgia basketball.
Well, they're going to look at it.
I think Brown got it. Yeah, they will review it.
It looked to me like Braylon tipped it off one of their players who was standing out of bounds.
We'll see if we get a replay here in the building. And Tony Green is going to the scores table. He's got the headgear on and viewing the replay monitor. The call on the floor is Georgia basketball. We'll see if they overrule it or stay with it. 1:40 remaining. We're tied at 51. So they did run a play for Roberts as Georgia kind of cleared out offensively, Chuck. We had everybody out on the edges.
Terry went right to the glass. He just missed the layup.
Let's see what we are on layups today. 6 of 9 for Georgia on layups today. South Carolina 9 of 17. Officials are still taking a look at this one.
It must
on the
be
out-of-bounds call.
That's a tough call to make. Braylon definitely had touched the ball and it was going out of bounds, but I think one of their players was standing out of bounds and it hit him.
It must be back and forth on the rewind over there. They haven't shown us a replay here in the building. We don't have a monitor at our side, and they're showing nothing on the big screen overhead.
Boy, this is taking a long time.
Oh, now we can get a glance at the TV monitor down to our left. That may have glanced off, as I do a quick look over there, may have glanced off Jacoby Wright for South Carolina before it bounced out of bounds. I couldn't tell, and we shall see.
Yeah, the television, kindly, Joe Klein and Mike Morgan telling us that that is our ball. And Tony Green confirms their call.
So Georgia will have the possession. 20 on the shot clock. 100 seconds to go in a tie ball game. How about a little overtime? You want some overtime?
Well, it's been such a well-played game.
There is that possibility. And they've also adjusted the clock. They put 2 seconds back on it. So 1:42 remaining. Yes.
Well, I was just thinking that it'll be interesting to see what we come up with now.
Roberts gives it into Bridges right in front of him on the left baseline. Braylon tries to one-on-one with Brown, spins to the baseline, and he's called for traveling. Hayden Brown with solid defense for South Carolina.
Now look at the Dogs press.
Dogs called for traveling. South Carolina now with a chance to take the lead. They have the ball. Georgia presses in the backcourt. They beat the pressure with a right pass to Zachary Davis. Now they'll run their half-court set. 17 on the shot clock. Michi Johnson dribbles into a triple team. We were reaching for the basketball, tried to knock it loose. He was able to maintain possession, put it up, and it rattled home for it. Michi Johnson gives the Gamecocks the lead. Minute 9 to go.
All right, and then the official wants to check. He wants to check. It looks like the clock. The shot clock was off. Okay.
Game clock at 1:07. Now the shot clock with 27 seconds.
Yeah, it was down at 23.
And Georgia will have to inbound it, down 53-51. Michi Johnson with the go-ahead bucket for South Carolina on that last possession. Crowd of 10,000 trying to cheer on their Gamecocks here, less than a minute to go. Ingram with the dribble drive with the left hand, forces it up, banks it home. The 7th-year player from Madison, Georgia, cranks it in from the left block.
Well, less than a minute now.
We're tied at 53. Carolina basketball, 45 seconds to go. Michi Johnson dribbles, guarded by Ingram. Crossover, goes right. They call Jalen for a foul.
You know, I really thought if we held them in the 60s in points, we'd win. I didn't think that they would possibly. I just thought that we'd play better offensively than we have.
Carolina's going to be on the free throw line with Michi Johnson, who went 1 of 2 on his last trip. 3 for 5 today. 77% for the year. He's got 2 here, and that free throw is good. 54-53, South Carolina takes a 1-point lead. Second foul shot, all net. 2-point lead for the Gamecocks with 40 seconds to go, now less than that. Dogs with the ball. Into the front court we come. Roberts on the dribble. Bumps into Jacoby Wright. Loses the handle on the dribble. Out of bounds. We turn it over with 32 seconds to go. Roberts initiated the contact. Jacoby Wright was guarding the baseline, and Terry dribbled right into him and tried to spin away from the defender, and when he did, he lost
it out of bounds.
The possession of the basketball, and the Dogs have turned it over for the 15th time in the game. We give the ball back to South Carolina. They call a timeout, and they've got a 2-point lead, 55-53. And now the officials are looking at something else on the last play. While they review the monitor and talk to the scores table, we'll pause for station identification. Bulldogs Sports Network. (55-53), Gamecocks by 2. The officials went over to the scores table to check the last play.
Yeah, they just wanted to confirm that it was Terry that lost the ball out of bounds cleanly, and it wasn't touched by a Gamecock, and it was not. So South Carolina does have the basketball, a 2-point lead, and we've got 32.6 seconds to play.
Dogs have not lost a game this year, Chuck, when they've allowed less than 70 points, but down here with 32 seconds to go, we inbounds and we press. We're trapping on the baseline, and South Carolina calls a timeout. Michi Johnson was pinned in on the baseline by Juice Holt and Terry Roberts, who were trying to get a tie-up, although Carolina has the possession arrow as well, but Carolina calls a timeout to save the possession.
The officials are going to look at something else, aren't they? Or no?
Mike White's talking to Tony Green. He's asking if they did tie it up. I think Tony's explaining the play to him. Carolina going to keep the basketball, leading by 2, 55-53. They get the timeout. The officials they're setting up camp at the scores table here late in the game, aren't they? They just stay over there on the monitor, looking at everything.
You understand, they want to make sure that everything is right, down the stretch here, to get all your calls correct.
What about the other 38 minutes of the game?
Well, then you got a little leeway.
You got a little slack you can work with.
You got a little leeway. Then you only have to worry about cranky radio announcers.
You're not that cranky.
Why did you think I meant me?
Because I knew you were talking about me. I'm a silver lining guy. What are you talking about? 55-53. Gamecocks lead by 2. South Carolina with 2 timeouts remaining. Georgia has 1. We've got 28.6 seconds to go. Gamecocks are going to have the ball, but they're going to have to inbound it, get it up the length of the floor. Georgia defended it well that last play. They forced South Carolina into a timeout as Michi Johnson was trapped along the baseline by Holt and Roberts. Michi Johnson still pleading his case with the officials. He was talking a lot after the play, and he comes out of the huddle and talks some more. It'll be G.G. Jackson to throw it in from the right corner with Anselm to guard the inbound. Jackson holds it high, out of bounds. He's looking. Throws it, and it's intercepted by Martrez at half court. Gives it back to Roberts. To Hill on the drive. Kick out. Roberts fake on the 3. Sidestep. Here comes the 3. No, off the front of the rim. Wow. Rebound South Carolina. Davis collected the rebound, and we foul.
My goodness. Georgia played that perfectly.
McBride intercepted. They tried a half-court pass. Jackson did. They went for the home run ball late in the 5 count. Martrez intercepted the ball just across the half-court line, fed it back to Roberts, and then Georgia had to scramble for a shot, ended up missing the 3 by Terry. And we foul on the rebound. Davis going to the line now for South Carolina. Zachary Davis, 6'8" freshman, 80% free throw shooter. He's 8 of 10 this season. So he hasn't been there a lot, and he hasn't been there at all this game. They lead by 2. If he makes them both, that's going to be problematic with 18 seconds to go. But he will not. He will miss the first.
Wow.
South Carolina.
Well, now that hoop looks really small.
They are 13th in the league in free throw shooting, and showing you why here in the second half. He missed them both. Anselm rebound, 16 seconds to go. We're down 2 with the ball.
Timeout here.
Hill into the front court, going to drive against Jackson. High bank shot won't go. They call a foul. They called goaltending. They called a goaltend on South Carolina. They've given Georgia the basket.
And a foul. And there's also a foul, right? Or did they just not call the foul and just goaltending?
I'm not sure. They're going back over to the table to review it, though. And we'll see if we can steal a view on the TV monitor to our left, since that's the only video replay we get to see in the building. Will Howard, the official, no relation, but he might be, called the goaltend on South Carolina to give Hill the points. And right now the scoreboard says 55 all with 9.7 seconds left. Howard and Tony Green are at the scorer's table to review the last play. And then we'll get some clarification after they come away from the table. Both teams are huddled up around their head coaches now.
Well, what I wanted, was there a foul also called?
No indication as such yet. So right now, as it stands, we're tied at 55 with 9.7 seconds left. And South Carolina expecting to get the basketball to inbound it for what could be the final play of regulation. As Adam slaps me across the chops. All right, the officials have taken the headsets off. Now all three will come together and discuss what they have seen and hopefully come up with a judgment here that everybody can be let in on. One official goes to the South Carolina bench, the other goes to the Georgia bench, and one comes over to talk to television, and Chuck's going to lean in and try to hear what the explanation is. Georgia's huddle is clapping, and they like what they hear, apparently, but South Carolina likes what they hear too. They're trying to get the crowd jacked back up. Were you in the huddle that time?
I couldn't, hold on a second.
Couldn't quite make it out. No goaltending. I heard Will Howard say that. So they've taken the basket off the board, no goaltending, and South Carolina's going to have possession. Well, that didn't go our way, but they're still showing 55 on the scoreboard, tied at 55. Now they've adjusted it. It's 55-53. So no goaltending on Carolina. No basket for Georgia. Gamecocks basketball, 2-point lead with 9.7 to go.
And you want to talk about a mismatch at half court on a long pass. Gigi Jackson being guarded by Mardrez.
Anselm's waiting to guard the inbound for Georgia is Hayden Brown at 6'5" to throw it in. Frank Anselm at 6'10". And now they've adjusted the game clock to 10.6. They put almost a full second back on it. Hayden cannot move. Anselm will guard the throw in. Hayden has to hold his spot. He's moving all over the place. Is that not traveling out of bounds when he's moving? He called a timeout. His feet were shuffling all over the place while he's trying to inbound the ball. He wasn't moving up and down the baseline, but South Carolina uses one of their 2 timeouts remaining as they couldn't inbound the basketball.
But he is supposed to stay set. I mean, that's when they hand you the ball there. I mean,
yeah, I mean, both of his feet were up and down and moving. Well, they'll try it again after the timeout. Carolina trying to cling to a 2-point lead, and win their first home conference game of the year. Georgia trying to get its second road win. It's lonesome on the road for Georgia these days. They've lost 21 of the last 22 back to February of 2021. The road has not been a kind place for the Dogs.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is where the Dogs really have done a good job all season, is pressing. This is something we do well.
Now they change the inbound man and give it to 6'9" Gigi Jackson. He throws it in immediately to Meechie Johnson.
There you go, doubling.
And they try to knock the ball away on a defender. Hill was the defender that time. Johnson spun right on the sideline. Ball came out of his hands late, but after they whistled the foul on Justin Hill, 7.6 seconds to go. Meechie Johnson going to the line. And it's a 2-point lead for the Gamecocks, and he's got 2 shots coming. So you can do the math. If he makes them both, it'll be a 2-possession game with 7.6 to go. And Georgia will be knee-deep in it. 2 shots for Johnson, who has 15 points today, 5 of 7 from the line.
Missed it.
Now he's 5 of 8. He missed the first free throw. The door is open for the Dogs. Even if he makes this one, it would be a 3-point game, and Georgia would have a chance to perhaps tie it. Second foul shot in the air and good. So Johnson misses one, makes one. 56-53. South Carolina. 7.6 to go. Carolina will use their last timeout. Try to defend the 3-point lead. 7.6. Georgia will huddle up.
Well, we're going to get a shot at it, so I think if you're Mike White, you'll try to get Jabri in there. You'll try to get I know Carriel has struggled, but do you try to get him back on the floor if he's the guy?
Georgia's 5 of 23 on threes today. Roberts has hit 2 of them. Juice has hit 1, and McBride has hit her other 2. Everybody else is over. And that includes Carriel, who is 0 for 4 today. Abdul Rahim 0 for 2. Ingram 0 for 2. Hill 0 for 3. And that's on the 3 ball. South Carolina with a 3-point lead. They come out of their huddle. Georgia's still chatting. 7.6 seconds here in regulation. Do we play on, or do we chalk up a loss and go home?
7.6 is a lot of time. I mean, it really is to get the ball. You got a chance here to get the ball, a couple of passes.
Jalen Ingram right now set up to inbound the basketball. Hill's in backcourt. Roberts is in the front court. They throw it into Justin. He sprints into the front side, and they foul him. Meechie Johnson fouls.
4.6.
And that's going to be 1-1 now for Georgia with 4.6 seconds to go. So that's the strategy for South Carolina. They don't give Georgia a chance to put up the 3. And they send Justin Hill to the foul line for a 1-1. Hill at 77% for the year. Perfect from the line today, 4 for 4. We get Mime Moncrief in the game. And Juice Holt out. Anselm on the other side of the foul lane for Georgia. Robertson McBride above the 3-point line as Hill will shoot. Free throw number 1, good.
All right, do you miss this one?
So it's a 2-point game now, 56-54. Justin spins the ball. Free throw in the air, good. He hit them both. 1-point game, 4.6 to go. Now Georgia, if they don't get the steal, get a quick foul, and then you do it all over again. Repeat the process as South Carolina would be shooting 2 free throws. A lot of substitutions here. There's about 30 guys on the floor right now. Brown's back in for South Carolina. He's ready to inbound the basketball. I think everybody's set now as far as their substitutions are concerned. 56-55 Carolina with 4.6 to go. Brown can run the baseline this time. He skips it into right. Got to foul him quickly. Roberts leaped around his body, tried to knock the ball loose. Almost looked like, oh, wow, they called a technical on Terry. Terry kind of jumped over the body of Jacoby Wright, trying to jump around him and knock the ball away from the backside. They called a foul, and then they called the technical. And I believe we have a personal and a technical, so that
pretty much does it. I mean,
if they hit their shots, that's going to be out of reach now. And now their officials will go back to the scores table and review what they saw.
He definitely teed up Terry. And I don't think Terry said anything. Now, did he think it was a flagrant foul?
Well, they've called the foul at that. As we look at the monitor, they've called the foul there. And then Terry must have said something. That's all I could see from the replay. Otherwise, it would just be like an intentional foul. But they didn't call that. They whistled the personal, it looked like.
And
then they called the technical as Terry was getting up off the floor.
He was getting up. And I don't know if that official thought about it and then thought, that was a pretty rough foul. Call it, or did he say something?
3 seconds showing on the clock,
and for the record, the official was Will Howard.
No relation.
No relation.
Taking an eternity to finish this ball game today. Now the headsets are off of the referees across the way, and they're talking to the official score. Yeah, I think what's coming is 2 shots on a personal and then technical free throws as well. Officials are going to huddle up. I don't know if that's official or not. South Carolina with a 1-point lead. And it's advantage South Carolina right now because there's only 3 seconds to go. They're up, and they're going to have free throws coming in one way or another. Now maybe we'll get an explanation here. One of the officials will come to the TV table to our left. We'll try to listen in. All right, Chuck, did you get all that?
Yeah, it's not good for us.
Well, I figured that.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
They're going to shoot 2.
Yep.
Then they're going to shoot 1.
Yep.
Then they're going to get the ball here.
Oh, okay. You're right. That is not good for us. So they shoot 2 with the personal foul that was called.
Correct.
And that was intentional by Terry. I mean, that's what we were trying to do. And it will be Jacoby Wright. And then they'll get a technical free throw. Wright, number 1, free throw won't go. Off the rim, no good. Boy, South Carolina just kicking itself in the face with missed free throws here in the second half. Wright's second one goes. And now he'll shoot the technical.
And then they're going to get the ball.
This will give them a 3-point lead. He makes that one. So he gets one more on the technical fouls. Or the technical free throws, excuse me. So now it's a 4-point game, and then they get the ball back with 3 seconds, 3.6 seconds to go. So this one's going to be out of reach for Georgia, and it ends in a bizarre way. And Georgia's inability to win on the road will continue here today, and South Carolina's going to get their first and only conference home win today against the Bulldogs. Brown to throw it in, bounces it in backcourt. Meechie Johnson fouled quickly by Juice Holt with 2.1 to go. But they're up 4 and 2.1 to play, and there's not enough time in the clock and not enough ways to score the basketball to win the game. Johnson for 2 here for South Carolina. Free throw is good. And the second foul shot is good.
And Georgia will inbound it, and that'll be it.
Mardrez takes the inbounds. He'll hoist up a half-court shot and hit the top of the backboard, and that's the ball game. South Carolina 61, Georgia 55. Gamecocks pull away down the stretch there and win it by 6. First time this season the Dogs have lost a game when holding the opposition under 70 points. But we didn't get to 60. We'll break it down when we continue. Straight ahead is the Regents Locker Room Report. Get your 2022 Regents Georgia Bulldogs National Champions Visa debit card. Regents, the official bank of the SEC, member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees may apply. Post-game coverage straight ahead. South Carolina a winner, 61-55. Georgia now 16-15. That's the way the regular season ends. 6-12 in the league. Gamecocks with their 11th win against 20 losses, 4-14 in the conference. Post-game after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
To collapse all I've learned, to absorb with open eyes, to see this revelation new serenity. Destruction is harmony. To see this, I'll wait for you to rise from this dream. I will be waiting for you to rise from this dream.
3, 2, 1, Dogs do the improbable, the unthinkable, the unbelievable. They beat Arkansas and go wire to wire to win the SEC tournament.